Yo, what's happening, people? It's Brett here from Bad Intentions Boxing, and thanks very much for coming back and watching another video. All that I can ask is that you keep engaging with the content, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and click that subscribe button down below. Thanks very much. Let's go. What's happening, people? It's Brett here from Bad Intentions Boxing. I've got Wayne Woods, part of the Sean O'Hagan stable with me. Wayne, absolutely fantastic to have you with us. How are you doing this evening?
Doing fine, mate. Circumstances like stuck in here for 24 hours, but yeah, doing fine.
So before we get started, do you mind just giving us a little introduction of who you are, what you're about, and actually your current location as well?
Yeah, I'm part of Sean O'Hagan's stable. I'm a professional and amateur boxing coach. I own Leeds ABC. Also, like I say, teamed up with Sean O'Hagan to help along with Reece Mould and Josh Warrington, Max Hughes, Zishan Khan as well in Wembley, ready for the Warrington ladder. Mould against Leewood.
How would you say this has differed from previous fights that you've been to where you're physically isolated in a room before you can leave it?
A lot different. I normally work right up till maybe final presser, weigh-in, and then fight night. I've come away from a young family at home, you know what I mean? So I've had to travel down today, COVID tested, locked in a room on your own, you know. It's a lot different, you know what I mean? And it does take a toll, probably on your family life and things like that. But I can't moan. I'm healthy. There's people out there who've lost their life and lost loved ones. So if this is what we've got to do to get fights on and keep everybody safe, that's what we'll do.
Strong words there. And I think potentially, you know, you're one of a long line list of people that have actually had to go through this scenario and this situation this year. And I think people would beg to differ and say, actually, we need these boxing fights to happen. And as you say, if this is what it's going to take, then this is what it's going to take. That, I suppose, leads us on to our next question. You're in an environment where the opposing team, or should we say the opposing fighters, trainers and coaches and everybody else is together. Do you think there's a chance that there might be any untoward or anything awkward that's going to happen?
No, you'll probably walk past each other at corridor. You might give each other a little nod. Like coaches are always mutual, but fighters are getting sent into a different. When a fighter's getting ready for a fight, it goes into a different mode. You know what I mean? It's they might walk past each other and just eyeball each other, but no, it'll be said. They don't like that. Save that for press conference, and that we're still professionals along at the same time. You know what I mean? And they're still role models to other kids out there, aren't they? So if you go about things wrong way, people aren't going to want to buy tickets off you when it comes back, are we?
No. So, strong wise words, and I think, as I say, as mentioned before, everybody will agree with that. I just think the dynamics must be completely different as for yourself and professional boxers that are involved in it to physically be in the same environment as your opponent 4 or 5 days before you have a fight.
Oh yeah, of course. Like you say, normally you might see them at final presser, you might see them at open workout. So normally on fight week, you're talking, you might see them Wednesday, open workout, 2 minutes to pass you get in, you do a couple of interviews, a couple of rounds of pads, things like that for public. And then you see them at presser, weigh in, fight day, but you're going to home, aren't you? You're going away from them, you're not seeing them. Whereas here, you could end up passing each other in corridor, we're going to be in the same places, things like that. So, yeah, you probably got to adjust a little bit. More the boxers than the coaches, you know what I mean? Me and Sean, we know what we're doing. We've got us game plan, things like that. So all we have to do is just keep the fighters grounded and ready to go.
And getting down to that nitty gritty, as we said, we're now at Tuesday, fight night on Saturday. So there's that length of time. Would you say that this current environment that you're in is going to hinder any of your final preparations for Saturday?
No, because all preparations are done, finished. They were finished at weekend, final session Sunday. They always are. We're going gym. We've got a gym here. We'll go in, probably a little stretch out and things like that, and just a little shake out for them. But fighters are the bang on weights, bang on the fit, 12-round fit. Sparring's gone great for them. It's been really good camp, really pleasant. Been in a long time though, haven't we? We've been in a lockdown for over 12 months. They haven't fought for nearly 15 months. So we've been in gym ticking, just working on things, and like I say, it's all come together ready for Saturday. Like, do you know what I mean? can't do no more. We've put everything together, and it's all down to fight night now.
And moving on to that fight on Saturday, there's been so much buzz around this week, and I in particular, as a fight fan, am really excited to see it. Lee Wood versus Reece Mould. That's a fantastic matchup, a fantastic fight. Lots of people had a lot to say about it. What's your take on it, and where would you say that Reece is at in terms of, we spoke about final preparations? Is Reece ready, and is Reece there ready to go?
Reece is ready to go. Reece is over the last 15 months. Reece has matured a lot. What people have seen of Reece, in the Reece they're going to see on fight night. I can promise you that. I've watched it myself. I've been around Reece since before he made his debut in 2016. First ever seen him sparred Gary Sykes and Isaac Lowe. Sean took me over sparring, first introduced, been around him ever since. Been in all his fights, watched him spar for years. Like I say, gone in and helped. I've had amateurs helping out with sparring with him and things like that. And he's a totally different kid. Took him down to Jamie Moore's last year, sparring Carl before Carl's last fight. And, you know, even Carl's giving the lad praise on how mature he's got over the last 12 months to 15 months, you know, so you can't knock the lad. I think people are underestimating him because we've gone under radar. He's got his sent to mandatory for British title by going under radar, not being on these big shows, not thingy. People know Lee Wood is a bit more of an household name, but come Saturday night, they're going to know who Reece Mould is. I can promise you that.
And again, that's another conversation that I've seen that people have had. There's been pictures of Lee Wood in the posters. Matchroom have done pieces on Lee Wood. But in a fight that's been so vastly spoken about on social media, we've seen nothing from Reece. Now, is that a team decision, or is that something actually from the media where there could appear to be a slight bit of underestimation?
As far as Matchroom goes, I won't like to comment on that. Obviously, Eddie's got his own media teams. They do whatever they've got to do. I know he's done a few interviews today. He's had a lot trying to do Zoom calls with him and stuff like that. But it's one of them. Again, he's got a young family at home. He's training hard twice a day. When he goes home, sometimes it's hard to do them calls and things like that. And I feel for the people who want had the interviews with him. But it's just one of them things. But like you say, he's ready to go. He's been mandatory for nearly 2 years. He thought he was fighting Ryan Walsh. That fight never come off. Walsh vacated. Like I said, Walsh has went on to Golden Contract Final, which was a good opportunity for Ryan Walsh. And he's a top kid as well. Met him there. He's a nice lad. Then the Jordan Gill, who were meant to fight. Jordan Gill reckoned he was above Reece, things like that. We're not going on to bigger things. Fair enough. And then Lee Wood stepped in, former Commonwealth champion. We all know Lee got to semi-final at Golden Contract, boxed Jazza, got beat by Jazza. Obvious, Jazza's now fighting for the world title. So it shows you where Lee is and what people think of him and the calibre of fighter. But if Reece wants to be up there with them names, then he's got to beat the likes of Lee Wood, which me and Sean Wagan really do believe that come Saturday night, Reece Mould will be the new British champion.
Again, and that's a fair comment. I think that as myself and a lot of other people have already said, that this is Reece's toughest test today. You know, and this is the fight that potentially opens the door onto bigger and better things for him, or actually there's a chance that he may have to reevaluate where he's at and go down a different path. There has been a lot spoken on Lee Wood, as Lee said himself, changed. He's got a new coach, saying that he's a ferocious puncher and he's changed. Is there anything that you think you're going to see different from him that you haven't seen before?
Lee Wood. Listen, I'm hearing Lee Wood's a puncher. I've took him on pads. He's pound for pound the hardest puncher on pads. Come on, listen. You've had Tyson Fury on pads, mate. #1 heavyweight in the world, #1 fighting man on this planet. And you're telling me Lee Wood's pound for pound hardest puncher you've ever been on pads? I don't believe it for 1 second. Lee likes to fight. We've seen it in fights when he's come to fight. We've seen it with Gav when he went to fight with Gav. We all seen what happened, obviously early on in his career, but Gav old-manned him and he didn't like it. You know what I mean? You can be a ferocious puncher. You come out. Believe me, Reece Mould can punch. I know Reece Mould can punch. Everybody knows him as a puncher. So if Lee wants to come and trade, he'll be in a hell of a lot of trouble. So he's going to come out. He's going to take one or two, and he's going to go back to his old ways, because you can't just change overnight and be this evolved fighter in one fight. You know, you've got to bond with a coach, get to know a coach. Your coach has got to get to know his fighter. Yeah, you do a lot in there, but you don't know him properly till you've been in a fight with him. And listen, no disrespect to Ben. He trains some of the best lads on planet. You know, he's been there at a young age as well. So he's going to gain a lot of experience. But for saying somebody's pound for pound puncher and he's going to come and take centre ring and all that lot, I don't believe it. I've watched Lee's fights. As soon as it's put on him, he goes straight on back foot. So we'll see what comes of that, won't we?
And I think on those final comments, I've seen some recently that Lee Wood has said that, and I think quote unquote was the word, that Reece Mould isn't adaptable and that he's very basic in what he does. I would think from what you're telling us that it appears that we're going to see a very different Reece Mould on Saturday. Have you got any final words to say on
that? It's one of them, innit? Every fighter can adapt. They're a boxer that they've got to adapt through fights. If you can't adapt, well, if you box a southpaw one time, you're boxing an orthodox other times. Lee Wood switches in fights, so Reece has had to prepare for a southpaw and an orthodox. Depends what Lee Wood's going to come, doesn't it? You know, Reece. People don't give Reece credit for how good a boxing ability he's got. He's a very good boxer, and like I say, he can punch as well. I'm not going to sit there and say his punch power and his punch power. He's going to knock him out and he's going to knock him out, because I'm seeing that at final bell and things like that. We'll see on night about that. You know what I mean? It's one of them things that we all can go tit for tat, but at the same time, I respect Lee as a fighter. I respect any fighter who climbs through them ropes, because you're risking your life for public entertainment. Obviously, I'm a boxing fan as well as a boxing coach, so they do it for our entertainment, don't they? So I've got a lot of respect for them. So I'm not going to sit and go tit for tat with them, but it can adapt, and they'll see that on night.
You heard that there, guys. Saturday night, this is going to be absolute fireworks. It's a fight that I'm excited to, so you must be as well. Tune in, Sky Sports. You cannot miss this fight. It is going to be an absolute banger, and anybody that's been involved will tell you what it is. Before we finish, Wayne, what we usually do is we usually have 3 quick fire questions. We chuck them at you. Is it something you're happy to take part in?
Yeah, man, I'm happy to take part in.
Go with it. Right, the first one, bacon or sausage?
Bacon.
Pants or Y fronts?
Pants.
Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren?
Eddie Hearn.
Wayne Woods, you've been an absolute diamond to have on with us this evening. We're extremely grateful for your time. Guys, I cannot stress enough, do not miss this fight on Saturday night for the British featherweight title. Reece Mould versus Lee Wood is going to be an absolute banger. I'm Brett Redmond. This is Bad Intentions Boxing. Let's go.
Thanks.